Good day, math learners! Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me again, your mathematics teacher, Sir John Lipernada. And for today's episode, I am going to teach you on how to get the absolute value of a number. So before you learn on how to get the absolute value of a number, let us have a short recall regarding the what we call number line. So from its name itself, number line, it means it is a line consisting of set of numbers. So again, it is a line consisting of set of numbers, and on the middle of this line we have 0, and it is called as the origin of the line. On the right side of 0 we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on and so forth. And these numbers, 1 to 7, and so on and so forth, are the what we call positive numbers. On the other side, after 0, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, and so on and so forth. And these numbers are the what we call negative numbers. And positive and negative numbers, including 0, are the what we call integers. So let us now start in discussing the what we call absolute value of a number. So how can we able to get the absolute value of a number? So in a simplest way, absolute value is just the distance between that number and 0 on the number line. So what does it mean? So ibig sabihin daw, kapag hinahanap natin yung absolute value ng isang number, ang kailangan lang natin gawin is hanapin natin yung distance, kunin natin yung distance mula dun sa origin natin, which is yung 0, hanggang dun sa number na hinahanap natin. So ibig sabihin, halimbawa, hanapin natin ang absolute value ng 7. So ibig sabihin, para makuha mo yung absolute value ng 7, magsisimula ka is dun sa origin natin is 0. So gaano kalayo si 7 mula dun sa origin natin, which is yung 0. And the absolute value of x is written as this one. So two vertical lines, and then on its middle is the given number. So a number enclosed by two vertical lines. So ito yung way kung para masulat natin yung isang, para ma-symbolize natin yung absolute value of a number. And take note that the distance is always a positive value. So ibig sabihin, kapag naghahanap tayo ng absolute value of a number, ang answer natin should always be a positive 1. So, ang distance, hindi siya negative, lagi siyang positive. Just like what I have said earlier, the distance or the absolute value of a number is always positive. That is why we arrive at this representation. So in this one, so absolute value of x is just x. Again, absolute value of positive x is just x. And also, absolute value of negative x is also just x. So, ibig sabihin, positive number at negative number, parehas lamang silang mag-a-arrive at a positive number. So, hindi ito pwede maging negative x dahil ang sabi natin kanina, ang absolute value ng isang number ay laging positive. So, again, absolute value of a positive number, absolute value of a negative number, always arrive at a positive result. So, let us have an example. Example number 1. Find the absolute value of 6. And the absolute value of 6 is just positive 6. Another one, find the absolute value of negative 6. And absolute value of negative 6 based on our rule is just 6. Same as the absolute value of positive 6. And to check whether our answer is correct, let us use a number line. So, sabi natin kanina, para malaman natin yung distance ng isang given number, yung absolute value ng isang given number. So, ang given natin dito is si 6. So, ibig sabihin, hahanapin natin yung distance mula dun sa 0. Gaano kalayo si 6 mula sa origin natin, which is 0. So, kunin natin yung buong region niya. So, from 0 to 6, kailangan nating malaman yung distance. So, mag-start tayo sa 0. We have how many moves? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ibig sabihin, tama yung sagot natin dun sa absolute value of positive 6, which is 6. So, dun tayo sa positive 6 muna. Then, after that, check naman natin yung absolute value ng negative 6 natin. So, si negative 6, nandito siya sa left side natin. So, ibig sabihin, ang region niya is mula dito sa 0 hanggang dun sa negative 6. So, bilangin din natin. How many moves do we have? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, meron din tayong 6 moves. So, ibig sabihin, tama yung sagot natin na 6. And for number 1, absolute value of 6, positive 6 rather, and absolute value of negative 6 is both positive 6. So, let us have another example. For example number 2, find the absolute value of positive 4. And we know that positive 4, its absolute value is just also positive 4. And next, find the absolute value of negative 4. And based on the rule and based on the example that we shown earlier, negative 4 is just also having absolute value of positive 4. And to check, let us use again a number line. So, positive 4, it is on the right side. So, we are going to get the distance from 0 up until positive 4. So, how many moves do we have? So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Therefore, our answer for absolute value of positive 4 is correct, which is 4. And after that, check for the absolute value of negative 4, which is located on the left side. So, how many moves do we have from 0 to negative 4? So, we also have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, therefore, absolute value of negative 4, which is 4, is correct. And again, based on the results that we have, absolute value of positive 4 and absolute value of negative 4 is just the same as positive 4. Let us have a different example for this lesson. For example number 3, get the sum between the absolute values of negative 6 and absolute value of positive 4. So, what are we going to do when we encounter this type of problem wherein there is an indicated operator there? So, step 1 is get the absolute values of negative 6 and positive 4. And for absolute value of negative 6, we all know that this is just equal to positive 6. And absolute value of positive 4 is also positive 4. So, after we get the absolute values of negative 6 and positive 4, what we are going to do next is to operate these numbers using the indicated operation, which is addition. So copy the numbers. We have 6 plus 4. And then operate using addition. So 6 plus 4. Get the sum of this number. So we have 6 plus 4 is just 10. That is why our final answer is 10 or positive 10. Okay, let us have another example. Same case as example number 3, wherein there is an involved operation. So for example number 4, negative 5, absolute value of negative 5 plus absolute value of positive 3 minus the absolute value of negative 8. Okay, just like what we have performed, just like what the process that we performed in example number 3, what we are going to do first is to get the absolute values of these numbers. So first, absolute value of negative 5 is just positive 5. Absolute value of positive 3 is also positive 3. And absolute value of negative 8 is positive 8. So next thing to do after we get the absolute values of those numbers, what we are going to do is to operate these numbers using the indicated operation. So in example number 4, we have the operations addition and subtraction na. So dalawa na yung operation na gagamitin natin. So kunin natin yung mga nakuha natin na absolute values. We have 5. So we have 5, we have 3, and we also have 8. And then indicate the operation, we have addition. So i-plus natin, 5 plus 3 is just 8. And then minus 8, 5 plus 3 again is 8. And then minus 8 is just equal to 0. That is why our final answer for number 4 is 0. So now let us have our last example for this lesson. So for example number 5, absolute value of positive 16 divided by absolute value of negative 8 added to the absolute value of negative 4 divided by absolute value of positive 3. So first thing, what we are going to do is to get the absolute values of all involved numbers. So we have absolute value of positive 16 is just positive 16. Absolute value of negative 8 is positive 8. Absolute value of negative 24 is positive 24, and absolute value of positive 3 is positive 3. So after we get those absolute values, what we are going to do next is to operate each fractional term. So kunin natin, i-divide natin yung first fraction natin, then i-divide natin yung second fraction natin, then after natin makuha yung quotient ng dalawang fractional forms, i-add naman natin. So unahin natin si first fraction natin we have, so absolute value of 16 again is 16, absolute value of negative 8 is 8, plus absolute value of negative 24 is positive 24, and absolute value of positive 3 is positive 3. So after na yan, magkakaroon na tayo ng, so i-divide natin, 16 divided by 8 is just 2. Then 24 divided by 3 is just 8. Then kopyahin natin yung operator natin, which is plus. And if we are going to get the sum of these numbers, 2 plus 8 will just give us the sum 10. So that is why our final answer is positive 10 or just 10. So before I end this video, please don't forget to subscribe in this channel. What you have to do is just to click the red button below and hit the notification bell for you to be updated on my next uploads about math lessons. Thank you and God bless everyone.